Hey, what's up, everyone? I am here today to make a very bold statement, and that is that Berettas are the most underrated firearm around. You might think that's kind of crazy. I mean, they've been around a while. They sell for a pretty decent price, but just anecdotally, whenever I talk to people about handguns, which is quite often because people know I like handguns, so if they're even thinking a little tiny bit about buying them, they usually ask me questions like about local laws and what to buy, how much things are. Nobody even mentions a Beretta. It's amazing. If they're looking for a full size pistol, they're not looking for the PX4 Storm. They have a question about a Glock, or maybe they have a friend who has a Smith and Wesson M&P. That's what they're looking for. Or if they're looking for a small carry gun, maybe they're looking for a Ruger, maybe LCP, LCR, looking for something like that. Again, full size 9mm. You're not looking at something like the 92 series. This is an S, by the way. Looks a little beat up, but I like it anyway. They're looking for target pistols. No, they're looking for a Ruger target pistol, or maybe a Browning Buckmark or Smith and Wesson Victory. They're not looking for any of this stuff usually. Now, if they know a little bit about guns, and you say, "Well, what about Beretta?" It's like, "Oh yeah, Berettas are cool." Now, what about that Glock? It's kind of funny. I mean, even police stations, police departments. If I had to guess offhand without looking into it, there are a few I've heard of that have used Beretta PX4 Storms in the past. But I read this 7 or 8 years ago. I'm not sure if they're still using the PX4 Storms. My guess is probably after 7 or 8 years they might not be. But if there are any, I think it's really, 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 really few. I would guess that probably the majority are still using Glocks, and quite a few are probably using M&Ps with maybe some SIGs smushed in there since they picked up the military contract. And I think that might be part of why maybe Beretta doesn't get the credit it deserves. But these are really solid guns. I mean, they're really cool. Now, I mean, some of them, of course, don't have much in the way of a functional use, like this one right here. This is the Beretta Minx. And by the way, if anything here kind of interests you at all, look through my old videos, because I believe I did videos on everything to one degree or another. Some of them might go back 6 or 7 years, but they're there. Now this is just to me, it's a super cool collector's piece. And by the way, these guns have all been unloaded, safety checked. There is nothing in there. That's a 7-round magazine. If anyone from YouTube is watching, 7 rounds, I say. So nothing going on here. But this is a 22 short. It's a 7-round 22 short. But you know what? Super cool. I mean, just check this thing out. I mean, it's almost kind of reminds me of a little 92. It's awesome. I love it. And here we have the no magazine, by the way, empty chamber. We have the Beretta Bobcat, and this one, or I should say the 21A. This one is in 25 ACP. It's got the lovely wood laminate grips on it. And it's another one I really enjoy shooting. And you know what? Don't tell the tactical people in the audience, I've actually concealed carried this. Because it's really convenient to conceal carry. Although it is a little thick in the handle, but that really helps with the shooting, because look how thick that is. With a lot of pistols, they are really, really super narrow. So if you have large manly hands like me, it's kind of hard. But with this one, you get 2 full fingers on it, and I mean, not that you got to manage the punishing recoil, but it's a pretty cool gun. Then we got this one. This is like a freaking work of art to me. I love this gun. And this also, no magazine and clear chamber. This is the Beretta 3032 Tomcat, 32 ACP. Awesome gun. I love this gun. Let's get that off there. Love this one. It's, as you could tell, the stainless steel. And this one is very similar to the Bobcat, but as you could tell, it's a little higher, a little thinner. A bit beefier, because don't forget, this is only a 25. This is shooting that super powerful 32 ACP. You can't mess around with that. I mean, 32 ACP. But, you know, all kidding aside, whether you like 32 ACP, you think it's a waste of time, I mean, that's your opinion. But what you can't deny is this thing is built like a tank. I mean, this is really a super high quality handgun. This is the kind of thing where, you know, if you have it for 30 years and you die, your son or daughter could, you know, you can get past this down. This is to me, this is heirloom quality. I love this. Another good one that never got much attention, and I don't know why. We have the Beretta Nano. I'm not sure if these are even being made still, to be honest with you, because I don't see them in the stores anymore or see them online. And if they're not being made anymore, they'll probably, if they haven't been discontinued, they will be discontinued shortly, I'm thinking, because with all the micro compact double stack guns coming out, this one is a single stack. It comes with a 6-round and an 8-round magazine. As you can tell, this one is magazineless. And just to show you, if you're nervous for my safety, it is an empty chamber. There's nothing in there. This is just a super freaking cool gun. I love this one. Very comfortable. Now this one, I can shoot this one just fine, but you actually get a little bit less real estate on this one than even this little tiny Bobcat, because this part here is a little stumpy. With the 6-round, it's okay. The 8-round I actually like better because it has an extension at the bottom, and I can actually get all 3 fingers on it, so that's pretty cool. The sights are nice. Just a really cool concealed carry gun. And then if you look at how thin it is, let's check this out right here, 0.89 inches. And as you can tell, it's pretty much snag free. If you look at it, I mean, there's really, I mean, you look at, like, say, at the PX4 Storm here, and it's got that slide release that pops up here, and you got the safety handle popping up. Same thing with the Neos, although I doubt you'd probably conceal carry this, especially with the 6-inch barrel. But, I mean, this is just pretty smooth right across here. I mean, there's really nothing. The only thing that pops up a little bit is this magazine release, and even that really doesn't pop up that much. I mean, it's not recessed, but it doesn't pop out much at all. Same thing with this side. Nice and smooth. So this is a really good one. But like I said, I think that with the double stack 9s that are basically the same width, I think that guns like this are probably kind of on the way out and on the road to obsolescence. But doesn't change the fact that this is a really cool, well-made firearm. My Neos, I think I've actually done 2 videos on this. I love this gun. The only problem I had with it was that the sights, let's see if I can adjust that. The sights were terrible. So what I did was I kind of colored the front sight in a little bit just to help with picking it up a little bit. But it is an extremely accurate handgun. This is actually makes me a much better shooter than I actually am. My hand fits in perfectly. Trigger pull's awesome. Very pointable, 6-inch barrel. And the other nice thing is if you're going to the range with someone with poor hand strength, look at that. That's all you have to pull back to charge the gun. Very cool. And they're cheap. These were going for about $300 for the longest time, but now they're sinking back to the old price, which is about $240. And like I said, I mean, you can get, I mean, that's a lot cheaper than you know, Ruger target pistols and the Smith & Wesson Victory and the Browning Buckmark. The weak link were the sights, but they actually do have sights that you can replace with them, replace those with. So, you know, that's pretty good. And of course, the king right here, Beretta PX4 Storm, full size. Let's call it what it is, a duty gun. And again, I will show you. This is a 45 ACP. Nothing in, no magazine in there. And the chamber, I will show you, is clear. And notice this has a rotating barrel. I don't know if you can notice that there, but it helps control the recoil. Now this one, as you can see, I get 3 fingers on here with no problem at all. Now you can, I think this comes with 9-round magazines, but then they have some that are 10 rounds. And the 10 rounds have little extensions. So if you have bigger hands and you come down, you got something there with you. Very nicely designed with the mag release here, and I believe that's swappable on the other side, so it is ambidextrous. Safeties are ambidextrous, as you can see. That's pretty cool. Then the slide release is here. That is not ambidextrous. Takedown is very, very easy. Glock's got nothing on that. The sights, I like the sights. My wife loves the sights. Her nickname for this is her gun. She goes, "That's my gun." She just loves this. She shoots it extremely well. It's almost scary. Um, and again, really nice. I mean, you have the little snaggable area here with the safety. And then again with the safety and the slide release. But, I'm not sure how many people are going to want to conceal carry this, because it's got decent weight because it's a full-size gun. And then if you put this on here at the thickest area, it's 1.24 inches. So, like I said, this part of the slide, I mean, it doesn't really look like it's that wide because the way this is contoured. Because Beretta can be kind of artsy. Okay, so over here it's a little different. What is it here? Actually, let's put on the frame. So 1.17, whereas that other one was 0.89, I believe. So it's a thick gun, but it's complete quality. Whenever I maintain this the way I'm supposed to, I don't have any failures to feed. One time I did go to the range with a friend, and it jammed. He had a malfunction, and I was shocked that he had a malfunction with his gun. I mean, every gun has a malfunction. I mean, I had probably put a couple thousand rounds through it, and I didn't know what was wrong. I'm like, oh my God, a malfunction. So it's all right. So just put it down and face down range and stuff. And I looked at it, and we figured out the reason for the malfunction. He put a 40 Smith & Wesson round in the gun. It's a 45 ACP, remember? And of course, the bullet fired, the case expanded, and it wedged really tight in there. The ejector couldn't remove it. Thankfully, the ejector was fine, which I thought was really good. I was able to pull it out, and it was fine. And I believe that's the only malfunction I've had with this in multiple thousand rounds. Like I said, that was about 2,000 rounds in. Probably put 1 or 2,000 more in since then. And it has been nothing but reliable. They actually make this in 9mm and 40. 9mm and 40, I believe, have a subcompact, a compact, and the full size, and the 45 is just a compact in the full size. And I picked this up maybe about 7 to 8 years ago, roughly. I'm getting old, so sometimes I forget dates. But the only gun that I had ever picked up from Beretta that I thought was an absolute piece of garbage was the Pico. I mean, the Pico was terrible. It was poorly designed. The firing pin, you couldn't dry fire the gun, even though it was a centerfire handgun. Just a real piece of junk. And I've done videos on that. I actually traded that in for my Canic. But every other Beretta I've picked up has been nothing but awesome. I've been thrilled with every Beretta I've picked up, and I'm always keep my eyes open because there are some other ones I would really like to pick up. With this one, I'm not sure if you saw it, but there's a Beretta that looks just like this, but it's called the Jetfire, and it's in 25 ACP. As a matter of fact, I've seen multiple videos where Nut and Fancy, if you watch his channel, if you don't, check out Nut and Fancy. He actually talks about the Beretta Jetfire in 25 ACP, about what an awesome pocket pistol it is. And it really is. I mean, it's just an amazing gun. And, sometimes when you see pocket pistols, with the exception of maybe the C Camp, that are the small, they kind of feel a little bit low quality. I mean, this is like rock solid. This is awesome. I would love to pick this up in 25. That's on my list, but unfortunately, I don't see them around too much. And when I do, they're on Gunbroker, and they're very expensive. Right here, the Beretta 21A. I need to pick one up in 22. I've come close a couple of times where I've seen them in the stores, and I just didn't pull the trigger, pun intended. I didn't pull the trigger on it. And I'm kind of regretting that, because basically the 22 LR version of the Bobcat that I want, it's the Inox version, looks exactly like this, but this size. So I'm just picturing running CCI through that, and with the Beretta quality, it would probably be incredible. So just kind of like one of those thinking things. If you're thinking about buying a Beretta, I'm sorry, buying a handgun, you probably thought about Beretta, and this is for people who actually can afford to spend, a little more money. I understand if you're on a budget, you might not want to spend like $550 to $600 on this. I totally get that. But if you are in the market where you're willing to spend, say, $500 or $600, have you considered Beretta for yourself? Or are you mainly focused on Glock? Are you focused on SIG? One of those brands. I'm really curious because it seems like that's really the go-to, where people are kind of like Glock SIG, Glock SIG, Glock SIG, and the SIG ones kind of come up more lately. I think SIG has done a great job with their marketing. I've only shot a couple of SIGs. I don't like them. I don't think I've ever gone to the store and been tempted to buy a SIG. I really, really dislike them. And I have like a SIG authorized dealer who's got tons of SIGs. I just don't want them. Glocks, I do like. I enjoy shooting them, and I like that if you have like Glocks of varying styles, there's some redundancy in magazines fitting and barrels fitting and slides fitting. I really appreciate that, and I like that. So I do like Glocks. I have a couple of those. But for me, like Beretta is just awesome. Like if you show me an old Beretta in a store, I just want to pick it up. And I actually regret sometimes I haven't picked them up when I've had the chance to, and I regret it and I'm kicking myself. And then it hurts when I sit down. But anyway, just kind of wanted to bring this up to you, and I'm hoping maybe you saw a handgun here that you're kind of intrigued by. Maybe you're not real familiar with it, and you check out some other YouTubers' videos on them, and check them out online or in your local gun shop. Because let me tell you something, Beretta is really, really underrated, and they make some great stuff. And for the prices of some of their guns, like this Nano here, I actually ended up getting this for $200. It was kind of a clearance thing, but for the longest time, these were $400 on certain large retailers, and occasionally you'd see them go on sale for like $3. I got it kind of in a really, really good deal at a local shop for $2. I jumped at it. And this is like fantastic for the price. And I don't know. I just wanted to bring that out there to you so you can kind of maybe think about Beretta if you hadn't thought about it before. So I hope you enjoyed the props on the table, and have a good one. See ya.